Hey guys, today I will show how to draw dreads. It's a very easy hair type to draw. Shout out to Candy Road for the video idea. If you guys have any ideas for a video, comment your idea in the community section.
Okay, so like the title shows, today I'm going to show you guys how to draw dreads and to show you how simple it actually is. It might look a bit intimidating, but once we break it down and just get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's a lot simpler than you might think. So just like with everything you draw and learn, you want to learn the fundamentals first. So let's see what are the fundamentals of dreads. So let's just I'm gonna just snag one of these pictures here. I think this girl's hair is a lot easier. It's a lot clearer. Okay. So if we look at her hair, you can see that her hair, the dreads, the shape of the dreads is basically a noodle, pretty much. Oh, that's a let's do it like this.
What the Sigma?
It's a really wonky noodle, but just think of noodles, okay? So that's pretty much the basic shape of dreads. Alright. Another thing to keep in mind with dreads is also too, they're not like a streamline. It's not like a streamline, you know what I'm saying? It has curves to it. Okay? So, and even with the ones that look straighter, like if you see this girl's, hers do look like they're going straight down, but even with that, it has bumps to it. Like there's a bunch of bumps here. Like it's bumpy, okay? It's not like straight. It's not curvy. Well, it is curvy, but it's not like one curve. There's like a bunch of curves into one curve, if that makes sense. Also too, when drawing dreadlocks, you have to try to like think of like what is this type of, I'm gonna just call it material for now, but what is this type of material made out of? And if I've seen like a couple of videos, and pretty much dreadlocks are kind of like pretty much knotted up hair, and
Wait a minute!
I'm not gonna say that to like what's the word? Demoralize, I think that's the word, this hairstyle. I'm just saying, like, to me, how people are doing it, it just looks like they're knotting it, and they're like either wrapping it around a hair or knotting it to make it come out like this. So knowing that means this hairstyle would be a lot more thicker and heavier than this hair, because this hair isn't knotted up. This hair is simply, you know, growing out of the scalp and kind of just doing, it's more like lighter, if that makes sense, and thinner. So if we're gonna think about dreads, keep in mind, like, dreads are heavy. They're thick. And also too, this goes with everything you learn. Like when you're trying to learn something new, try to point out like factors that you see, like this hair's heavy because it's knotted up. I bet like if wind were to go towards this hair, I would think like a lot of wind would have to have this hair going everywhere. Which as if someone went towards this hair, it wouldn't take that much for this hair to get all crazy and stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's more lighter and it's more thinner and more airy. You know what I'm saying? Where's that? Okay. Also, too, another thing I noticed is that it's very dense or stiff. Because for it to keep this type of bendy shape, it would have to have some sense of dense or stiffness to it. So, yeah. So keep these in mind when drawing dreads. Basically, these are kind of like these are literally the fundamental points of dreads, as well as the shape. And if we have to if we were to change this shape right here, geometrical, it would really look more closer to a rectangle, a very elongated rectangle. So this is the organic type shape, and this is more of the geometric shape. Alright? Okay. So now let's dig a little deeper on this hairstyle, or on this hair type, or I guess style, on this hairstyle. Is now we need to see, okay, so now we know, like, okay, the dread itself is heavy, thick, dense, alright, that's why it has the bumps and stuff. Okay, cool. But how the heck is it growing out the head? So, one thing that dreads kind of remind me of, if you guys ever had a childhood, actually, you guys probably know the Play-Doh kits that you used to have, and there was one Play-Doh kit in specific that was like a salon theme, and basically there was like these characters which would more or less kind of look like this, just kind of drawing it from memory, which they would like look like this, and then they would have their faces, and then I think they would have like a hand, and this would be like their shirt, and then these would be like their shoes, okay? And what you would do is you would have to take off this piece, the top piece, and there would be like this, like on the bottom of it, you wouldn't see it, but that would be like inside of this upper piece. And what you would do is you would take a piece of Play-Doh, so it's like you would take I know it's a crappy drawing, but you would take a piece of Play-Doh and you would put it up where the head part is, and once you did that, you would smash it down, right? And then, you know, hair pieces would start growing out, or noodles was what I would put it, would be growing out, because his head had circles on top of it. Okay? So I had uniform sections where the Play-Doh could grow out from. So kind of think of that with dreads. So actually, let me pull up. This girl would work, and this one too. So let's pull them up. Okay. So actually, I think hers is a lot more clear to see. So if we look at this girl's hair, we can tell that it's not just simply growing anywhere. Like, these have order to it. All these dreads have order to it. It's like I said, it's not like this hair, where hair is just, you know, growing out everywhere. It doesn't have any uniform nor order. So if we go back, we can see that all these hair pieces are growing out of square sections. So it's basically, it's the same approach of how people braid their hair. So instead of these being braids though, they're dreadlocks. So we can tell, I think we can see it with this girl too, we can put this another color so it's more easier to see. You can tell that all these have sections that they're growing out of. Well, not that they're growing out of, but where they're coming out of. Because humans aren't naturally born with dreaded hair unless you never brushed your hair since you were born. But naturally, humans don't have dreaded hair as babies. So they have to be coming out from somewhere, which gives it order. So to keep in mind when you're drawing dreads, you need to know how, or actually you need to map out the hair first. Okay? That's key. Because if you just got dreads just coming out of anywhere, it won't make sense. Okay? So like, for example, like let's say you were doing a hairstyle like this. There will come a point where you will see where all these dreads are coming out from. Because since this hair isn't just coming out from anywhere, there is going to come to a point in this kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say bald area, but this, let's say field area, you know, let's say like this is a forest here and this is a forest here, and you know with every forest you get the meadow. This is the meadow area, and you're going to see how this hair is like coming out of. Okay? Alright. So map out the hair first, alright? So this hairstyle isn't only, you know, heavy, thick, and stiff, but it also has a sense of order. It isn't like as kind of messy it looks. It does kind of look a little messy, and I wouldn't even say messy. It looks really more expressive. It still has order to it, and sorry, that's my brother. Anyway, I digress, don't mind him. And then we're just gonna go through some more points here. So kind of still talking about where the hair is rooted up from. Kind of think of it as a tree. So when you're drawing the part where you have to show where this hair is coming from, I recommend not to draw like a square, okay? Because that's just unrealistic. Kind of draw it more like a root, like hair is going to be coming out from this part, like this is hair. So I kind of thought of it as a tree, because a tree doesn't look like this. And then there's a tree. A tree has roots that root up to the tree. So that's the same thing with hair. So block it, map it, and then just don't draw it like a straight up square. Also too, especially when you're drawing dreads that are black, do not highlight every dread, okay? The point, this is why dreads are so easy to draw, because it isn't about accuracy, it is about believability. So as long as it looks like dreads, and as long as you can clearly see where the light, like if I took all these off, as long as you can clearly see where the light's coming from, like I can clearly see like there is a form of light coming from here somewhere. And I can tell the light is more closer on this side of the head than it is on this side. Okay? So don't highlight every dread, alright? Just highlight the ones that need to be highlighted. And yeah, and just going back to what I said, this is why dreadlocks are very easy to draw, because it isn't about accuracy, it's about believability. Okay? Right? It's kind of like fake it till you make it type thing. Okay, so now I guess you guys might be like, okay, but like, can you draw it? Like, come on, like, give me all these pointers. Ain't gonna really help me all the way. So let's draw a dreadlock together, shall we? Now the brush. Before you even draw a dreadlock, I don't really recommend you to use the round brush. Hold up, let me open. The round brush. Reason being, it's just too, like, it's not expressive. Try to use a textured brush because dreadlocks are very expressive. Okay, they're not a basic hairstyle like this. Not saying this girl's hairstyle is like basic in a bad way, but it has no expression to it. It's not messy. It's very not classified. It's very unified, and there's like no bumps, no curves, no nothing. It's mainly just straight lines, straight curvature lines. So I highly recommend when drawing this textured hairstyle is to use one with texture like this one, okay? And you can get this pack that I have here free on Gumroad, and it's literally what it says, Jing Sketch Basics. Or you can use the default. Another brush I recommend, found it, is the Shells brush, okay? Because the shell brush also has bumps, it has texture to it as well. So try to use a brush with some texture to it, because that gives the hair a little more life than what you would with a round brush. Okay. Also, too, another tip when drawing this is try to draw with your wrist. Don't draw with your arm. At least, like, try to rest your hand on the screen and draw with. Man, you don't even got. Yeah, try to draw with your wrist or even draw with your fingers. Okay. Like I'm doing here. Because if I were to draw with my whole arm, it would. Like, I guess you could do that way too, but it's more easier drawing with your wrist. Okay, so first let's do the basic shape. So let's say our hair is just, going, hanging down. Okay, so that's our basic shape. Now let's draw in the dread. So, like I said, dreads are very bumpy, so put some texture. I highly recommend just to make your brush big and just do there. Make your brush big and just block out the shapes. It's a lot easier this way for me. But if you guys want to do a more want to line it out, you can do it that way too. Just make sure to make the dreadlock bumpy and stuff. But I'm gonna just block it out because that's just easier for me to do. Yeah, and don't let the dreadlock don't let the dreadlock define you. You define the dreadlock. Okay? Or let the dreadlock define itself. I don't know what I'm saying. And round off the edge, because dreadlocks usually end up in a rounded off edge. They do not end up flat. Round it off. Okay? Now, let's add some bumps to this. And don't draw your dreads like with bumps that's unified. Try to be a little random with the bumps, so they don't have to be everywhere. And try to be imperfected. Loosen your hand. You don't have to work so hard. Let your brain kind of go a little autopilot, okay? Alright, and usually, now, not all dreadlocks are like this. This is a stylistic preference. I just like ending it like that because it just makes more sense to me. Now, let's go on with the highlight. Because, and I guess you're wondering, like, well, what about the shading? Look, the black color is the shade, okay? You don't need to go any darker than that. Now, when highlighting, do not highlight the whole thing, alright? Figure out where your light source is and just highlight from there. And try to go this motion, because that's how the hair is kind of made. The hair is mainly wrapped around, and kind of just feather out that light. And then I'm gonna get a little more smaller brushes just to have it a little more messier. Cause like I said, have some hair kind of wrap around it. Cause not everybody's perfect, right? Not everybody's dreads are perfect. So have some hair wrap around this thing. Cause that's kind of basically how it's kind of made anyway. It's kind of like wrapped up hair, like I said. Even though all dreads are kind of, keep in mind, like, always have a reference too, because not all dreads are the same. And there you go, folks.
It's over! We did it! We did it!
There's your classic dreadlock. Sorry with the crappy handwriting. And yeah, so like I said, it's pretty simple. It's not hard. Make sure you're loose with it and kind of have a little fun with it, and make sure you're expressive with it, okay? Now don't be like super messy where it doesn't make sense, but be messy enough and be expressive enough where it looks appealing. I will make a second video. I will make a part 2 of how to draw dreads on a character, and I'll just have that as its separate video, because I feel like with that video it will just be now applying what you learn, and this video is playing a part of the fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? So I'll make a second video of how to draw on this girl. We'll name her Maya, I guess, for now. And yeah, so see you guys next time. Hope this was helpful. Like I said, if you guys have any video ideas or anything that you want to learn that you haven't really seen anywhere else, comment in the community section. So without any further ado, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and God bless y'all. Bye.